Greetings, gamers. This is Jerod Leupold. A little bit of a hiccup in the not recording because we're actually have finished all the recordings as of like 3 weeks ago, maybe even a month ago. So those are all in the can and ready to be posted, except for episode 7. For some reason, there was a weird metallic kind of feedback thing going on when we were trying to record. We knew that might be an issue. So at the time of the recording, we just decided to go without it. So thank you so much for your patience. To kind of give you an idea, I'll read you just a little bit. And tomorrow, I'll be dropping just our regular episodes as they've been going. There's only 3 or 4 left as we get down to the final series of Nation of Malice. So to kind of give you an idea, where we left off last time is that the detectives were going to go off to the gun show. The Montreal Hotel main conference room is about the size of half a soccer field, compared to Gen Con dealer room. Rows upon rows of tables showcase modern historic weaponry. At the center is an anti-aircraft gun pointed to the ceiling, providing photo ops for anyone. Former General Haskins is there signing his newly released memoir. He's a hopeful for the vice president for the Federalist Party. With an eye for detail, the detectives started picking up different St. Hubert badges of honor pinned on the lapels of certain members. Now, it was not just down to the 3, but by their detective work, here's what they kind of narrowed it down to. There was one on the lapel of a tall, good looking man showing off archery stands and equipment. There was one on a disabled vet in a wheelchair selling a book called Mind Over Matter Becoming the Alpha Dog. And finally, the real nail in the coffin for them was on a stocky man exhibiting several different kinds of silencers in body armor, who matched the description from Jezebel when they visited her in Jezebel's dungeon. Uh, with a little bit of document analysis, the detectives were able to find someone that a seller's license was an out-of-date forgery. So it wasn't couldn't legally sell guns in the state. So they used a little bit of leverage to kind of point out maybe some of the other people in the community and found out that those 3 people that they'd already kind of targeted definitely were a very tight-knit clique. So they set up they their code names, which they didn't know at the time, were Nimrod was with the bow and arrow, uh, Packmaster in the wheelchair, and uh, Arsenal with the silencers. So chaos erupted, pretty much. Not immediately, but they go to arrest Arsenal because they had him, at least an eyewitness, to be able to put it on there. 2 went there, and 1 person stood by the person in the wheelchair, figuring that he was the one that had the possession power, and they were right. Long story short, um, Brickhouse actually grabs the whole wheelchair, flies out of the hotel, bursting through windows after discovering that the wheelchair was actually had explosives rigged to it. Um, Managed to resist getting possessed and fly away to a safe location. The other 2 detectives got into a firefight with the other 2 huntmasters. Nimrod, the tall one, ended up getting shot in the face by Lilacs. At that point, Arsenal surrendered. It was a grueling battle. General Haskins is fine. He didn't catch any cross shots or anything like that. He thanked the detectives for their help. Um, so they get everyone to jail. They start doing interrogations. They do hacking into uh, the website or they had a laptop, found out that they were using a website as their front to be able to take contracts. So they travel around the country to different gun shows in whatever town that they're going into. They would try and pick up contracts. Uh, One of their most recent donations to their charity front was from the cosmetic company Euphoria. So based on that information, they got a warrant to go into Euphoria. company, not to the laboratory, but to the company itself, and try and seize assets uh, to get proof that they are indeed the ones that are involved with the murder. The warrant works great. They push past some armed guards. They get up to the top floor where the president is busy trying to shred any evidence. They catch her in the act. They, through the world of computer hacking, they follow the money trail. And there's a very large donation to the St. Hubert front that the Huntmasters were using. The only person that signed off on it was the president, Andre Massey. So enough proof. Using that as leverage, she finally breaks and confesses that she hired the Huntmasters to kill Bambi Calloway before she went to the press or released information about the cosmetic company still using animal testing. If that information ever got out, the launch of the new products would go belly up and the company itself would revert ownership to a company over in France. And Audrey would go to jail for sure. In that state, it was still illegal to use animals for testing. And that's how the adventure ended. People needed to go to the hospital afterwards. Lilacs had to do 8 hours of paperwork for discharging a firearm and killing a suspect. But it did wrap up the end of Baby Calloway's murder, or the adventure was called Primary Hunting Ground. So thank you so much for listening as I kind of ramble through it. But yeah, and then tomorrow I will be dropped the next video that will be the start of part three. I know at the beginning of the video I say we're already on part two. That's my mistake. We are starting that called Duty, Honor, Mutant. So thanks so much for listening, and yeah, have a great day.